Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. We are still on Novice. We have just finished setting up some blue science, and I let the factory continue to grind and churn out all of the things it could research with red and green and blue science. And I roughed in the rest of the steel smelters, so they are blueprinted. And I noticed that power was beginning to get low, so I went ahead and filled in the rest of the power. So we now have 144 megawatts of power available to us, which is good because we're going to be using a lot more power once we get robots going. And guess what we have? We should be able to make robots and roboports. Yep. Logistic robots and construction robots and passive providers and storage chests. Now we can't make the requester chests, and we're not going to, so I will not even be unlocking that tech. But if I have logistic robots in my base and I have items in either a red chest or a yellow chest, they will bring them to me. And if I put items in my in my trash area, trash slots, they will take them away and they will stash them in a yellow chest somewhere for me. So that makes it easier to manage my inventory. So, heading for robots, we want to build robots. I could lay out the Roboport, but I think what I'm going to start with is adding the two more things I need here. I need to be producing lubricant and sulfuric acid. And they're both fairly easy. Just do them here on the end. I'm pretty sure that we don't need crude oil down here. In fact, I'm very sure of it. And when we get our heavy oil turned into lubricant, that'll be the last thing we need that for. So I'm going to be putting lubricant coming down on a line here. Excuse me, I'll be putting heavy oil coming on that line. Oops. And you're actually going to require a little bit more help here. So if I put you here, come all the way over, and there we go. There's the heavy oil, which I will be using for the lubricant. So by default, this takes in 10 heavy oil and turns out 10 lubricant per second. We actually don't need very much of it. I'm going to go ahead and put in all three of them. This does need to be conditional. All of my stuff is conditional here. But the condition is enable if heavy oil is greater than 1K. We literally have nothing else that we want to do anything with. And now we set this up. Use stop here. Now, I don't have the lubricant over on this. I do need to have a lubricant tank though. So I'm going to put it here on the end of where I'm making lubricant. And now we have to bring this in. So there may be other things that are conditional on the quantity of lubricant. Don't think so, because we will continue to make lubricant anytime we can, and we have space. If we actually get to where we are cracking heavy oil into light oil, this will draw us down fairly quickly. We don't want to disable that, because what if for some reason lubricant is low but we're not draining fast enough? So I don't know if this is going to be enough. Actually, I can check that. According to my calculations, if we are using 10 oil refineries, let's think in terms of 10 here. I'm going to expand this shortly. 5 chemical plants making lubricant. Okay, so 5 would get 10. So 4, only 2 of these are really needed. This is fine. And this is going to go off to the right to wherever our robots are being built. Now the next step is I want to do sulfuric acid. Now we did a little sulfur up here. That's not going to be enough. Sulfuric acid, however, 6 chemical plants making sulfur and 3 making sulfuric acid. Well, this is a pattern. Let's rough it out here. So I'm going to put sulfur in between. Okay, and you are going to be providing sulfur to these guys who are making sulfuric acid. Now, these are not going to be running at full speed. That's okay. The alternative is to recognize that it's 1 to 2.5 or 2 to 5. Put in 4 of these machines feeding 10 of those, and that gets a little bit more complicated build. This is a nice, simple build. I like it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook together all of the water, like that. And the petroleum comes out there. There's where the water comes out. Now we start from here, we bring it over, and we give it 2 spaces. And again, I am going to... I keep dragging it, and I don't really need to. I just do this, hit shift, and connect up the red. There. So now with it all ghosted, it's not going to really show me much until I put the actual things in. These are within range. Like that. This guy needs to go all the way up to the water. And we'll just say the water comes out like this. Okay, that's within range. And I am out of pipe. Okay. Now this is petroleum, so it just comes from here. That's easy enough. We may add more of these later. Whoops. Need to be careful about that. Tink. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. There's water. Okay, now power. So here, this would actually cover all of them. We can't put it in here. I could put it here. Yeah, I could put it there. That actually covers. How about that? But it's too far. So rather than trying to stretch it too far, I will put right like this. There we go. Now, sulfuric actually, as long as these guys are just going to be striped on through, and the sulfuric acid just gets pulled right down like that. No reason not to. Same thing over here. No reason not to just do that. So this will now have sulfuric acid. Again, we connect him into the logistics area, so we could make things conditional on how much sulfuric acid we've saved up. And I am going to put sulfuric acid right there. So what are we missing here? First of all, the sulfuric acid machines do require iron plate, which means I can't just stripe this down. I need to leave holes in this to get the iron plate in. And the easy way to do that is to put them in like that. Need iron plate coming down here. Now I have something in mind. If I were to do my batteries here as well, I could take the sulfuric acid and iron plates and copper plates and make batteries and export batteries instead of sulfuric acid. But I know I need to export sulfuric acid because that's used in mining uranium, which we have unlocked now. I am going to just toss these in. Yeah, I'll keep this horizontal from where the other power is. That'll cover me well enough. So we'll just bring iron in here. So hello, we need some iron. Oh, there's some iron right there. I can bring it right across from there, I think. If I do that. There's our iron. So now if I look anywhere where I've got that red wire, I should now see my lubricant and my sulfuric acid showing up. And there they are. 18K lubricant, 2.3K sulfuric acid, and our 3 kinds of oil. Notice that I'm not advertising the amount of crude oil or the amount of water. Nobody's doing anything on those conditions. And you, what are you waiting for? Oh, you're just waiting for... Right, these machines are running at slightly lower speed. If I Alt-X, you can see that here. I got the build reversed. Okay. So I'm a Goomba. I got that absolutely reversed. I'm an idiot. Clear all of this out. The only thing I'm going to be leaving is the belt, which is going to be there no matter what we do anyway. Let's try this again. This time, check my build first. Boom, boom, boom. And it's actually 2 sulfur feeding into a sulfuric acid. Now, it's still not a balanced thing. But see, it's better. Thought something was weird. So, you are moving sulfur. And you're going to land right here. And we're going to put 3 of you in. And we are going to flip this guy. Actually, we're going to flip these so that the petroleums are together. Okay. Okay, there's petroleum hooked up. Now the water, we can just do that. Oops. Delete you. There. Okay. Now it's the sulfur. Nope, the sulfur does not. It's these guys that require the iron. Like that. Which means I need to have... Whoops. This guy, and this guy also needs to have the connection like that. Okay, we're set there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Program you guys and reify you and put these in. Why didn't it put my thingamabobber back here? Okay. Now I can stripe this in. And I'm going to start from there. We're just going to let it put these in minimum distance. Okay, you unhook power. You get power from here. You provide power from here. We're going to go red, and then we're going to go right down the machines like that. Okay. All set, finally. So we now have lubricant and sulfuric acid, which we need to make our robots. Tempted to make the flying robot frames right in here. Let's see what resources I need. So flying robot frames require electric engine units. Electric engine units are engines plus lubricant. Flying robot frames also need batteries, which require sulfuric acid, iron, and copper. So we need iron, copper, and engines. Is it easier to bring iron, copper, and engines to here, or is it easier to take the fluids up? I think it might be easier to take the fluids up. And I can put it out here on the right. Oh, I added radar. And we have found some biters to the south. So as long as we don't bother them, they won't bother us for the moment. But I probably better start thinking about putting defenses in. So for now, I'm just going to drag this out to the right. And this must be about far enough. So we're also going to be using lubricant when we build the blue belts. And I am not shy about my starting resources. I can always, move stuff around. If I make these guys cross somewhere in here, like that, what did I say I needed? I needed engines and iron and copper and lubricant. Oh, and steel. Okay, up here, I do have iron and copper. Engines are over here, as is steel. Well, engines are down here. Steel. So I need to bring this up all the way to the right. What if I bring copper out here? We're actually doing a lot more in this base because I want to get robots before I start the bus base. I have started bus bases before without the robots and fought with them, and it makes even longer gaps between what I can record. And this guy, engines. And you are going to come down like that. So what do we need here? I need 6 machines making electric engine units. I need 4 machines. Let's go make batteries first. So batteries require these guys and lubricant. I will probably be rerouting my fluids. Actually, I could probably... Okay, there's that. Okay, and batteries will look like what? So batteries do have a fluid component. They have 2 solid inputs and 1 solid output. We can do that. I am going to make these in pairs. Okay. So how much are we... Okay, the rates are low. That's good. I was a little worried that I would be overcommitting on the rate. I'm going to bring the sulfur in on those locations, or sulfuric acid, that is. We are going to be bringing the batteries out here. That makes these a little tricky to do, doesn't it? I'm going to bring you in just like that. And we're going to just pop these guys in here, like that. And the batteries are going to come down, and they'll be on the far side of the bus. Okay, so there's batteries. We also need, so it's batteries, steel, and electric engine units that go to the flying robot frame. So there's the batteries. Electric engine units, I'm going to need to make separately. I'm going to bring this spaghetti time. Like that. And the electric engine units, I need 6 of them. What do you guys look like? Electric engine units. So you have 2 solid inputs, a liquid input, and a solid output. That sounds like 2 belts. And like that. So we're going to have, what are my inputs here? Green chips and engines. Well, there's the engines right there. I could do that. Getting the green chips out is going to be interesting, except that I'm not sure I actually need all of this. There. So, you do that, and there's green chips and engines. And we'll move you over 1 more so we can have our output here. If I were careful, I could stripe all these along and put it on the other side of this belt coming out of here, couldn't I? Yes, I could. So we align you with that. Need that much of it. Put you here. You guys, I just need to make sure that we don't output into the power line. We're okay. And here. Stretching in front of my screen. Not a complaint. Okay, there's the lube coming in. These guys just need their input now. So what is this missing? This is missing sulfuric acid. Here we go. So now I have batteries and electric engines. Need to combine that and steel together. I'm just going to bring you guys out like that. And I was budgeting 12 machines making flying robot frames just like this. Now the question is, do I want to go make it really fancy and have the flying robot flames coming out the middle? I think I do. I've done the fancy before, and I kind of liked it. So you are flying robot frames. Six on that side and 6 on that side. And power goes in all the usual places. Okay, so output goes out a long-handled inserter like this. We'll put the outputs in first. Did I get everything? Steel? Batteries, electronic circuits. Oh, I need electronic circuits on here as well. That's easy enough. There we go. Okay. Now for input, I do require an input here. So we're going to have to go over these two and over these two. I think I need to do this, which means these guys are not going to be enough. We'll work out power in a moment. Oh, and more to the point, I cannot interrupt these in the same place, which means this needs to be here, not these guys. Yeah, getting the power in here is going to be different. So this needs to be the steel and green chips. This is the batteries and electric motors. Okay. Okay. Batteries, electric motors on these guys, and steel and green chips on these guys. I think these take like 30 seconds or something. So it's 20 seconds, but it's 0.75 crafting time, which means, yeah, 30 seconds. Which means altogether across the entire 12, we've got 0.45 per second, or 27 per minute. So 4 minutes to make 100, about right. Now, if I wanted this to be compact, I would have laid this out vertically next to this guy. We've got plenty of space. Next thing is I need to make two kinds of robots. We are going to curl this back around up into here. I also need to make the robot stuff. And by robot stuff, I mean the following things. The actual robots, one each. We need to make passive providers and storage chests, which take red and green chips, and steel chests, which means steel chests and those two. And Roboports, which are steel plate, iron gear wheel, and electronic circuits, advanced circuits. So we need red chips and green chips and steel. Okay, and iron gears. Okay, so red chips, green chips, steel, and iron gears. Well, red chips are kind of in short supply. We are providing them for science. I can take off the end of them. So what we aren't using here, I can grab. Yeah, I'm willing to say that our robot factory may run slowly when we're doing science. So there's our red chips here. I'm going to parasite off of the green chips down here. So let's do the red chips and the green chips. Like this. Oh, I don't have any undergrounds. Actually, I'd like to just do them like that. That's not right. There we go. Now I can't take out this belt or this plastic will be on the wrong lane. So there's red and green chips. We just need to get that up into our build area up there. Can I bring it north across here? Yes, I can. There's red and green. We need flying robot frames, and we need the steel for the steel chests and for these guys, and we need gears. So gears and steel. Be nice if I had a place I could get gears and steel together, huh? What if we did this? And I spaghetti this all the way across. Oh, no, it doesn't work. But we can get to here, which means if I can do this. Okay, so red and green chips, and steel and gears. Steel, we're going to be making steel chests, which are going to be feeding into passive and active providers. This is going to get steel, gears, and red. Okay, let's do those first. Let's do the Roboport first. Steel, gears, and red. So we need you and you. Question is, how many Roboports do I want to capture? I think 20. Let's do 50. 50 is the default. We'll use that. Okay, so we should start getting Roboports out there slowly, but they'll come. So this guy needs to make steel chests. And then we need yellow storage chests, and we need red storage chests. They're producing 1.5 per second there, and these guys will take 1.5, which means either we have 2 boxes for assembling machines, or we split them evenly. I think I'm going to do this. So, all right. We're going to do that. You are producing yellow chests. You are producing red chests. Believe me, we're going to need a lot of those. 250 is a good start. In fact, I think I am going to put these on a belt like this. A belt like that. I don't know whether I want assembling. I don't know whether I want the steel boxes in my logistics network or not. Okay. These are really just steel. Actually, they're just none of them. There. I hadn't considered it's possible that I could have used one machine making the boxes, because these guys are just getting their red and green stuff so slow. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in a second one of these for each one. And I will have one of them be green only, and the other one be red only. Oops. Okay, it looks like we will be able to sink all of the red chips. Okay, fine. Again, this is going to build up a bunch of them and then stop. Okay, we already have some of this. I'm going to grab some. We'll grab 10. And now the juicy thing. I need to send red and green chips to making actual robots, which I'm going to put down here. Now I am going to prioritize to the right. The other thing I'm going to do is separate these. Because I don't want them feeding into the same Roboport. Actually, you are going to be feeding into a box. Okay. And the box is going to then feed into the Roboport. Like that. Okay. So you are going to be making construction robots. You are reading out robot statistics. And what I want to do is make total construction robots in T, but I don't want to have T be a thing. Well, actually, I only have the number in one place. So you... yeah. So enable when T is less than the number that I want in my robot network. I start out with 100. That'll go up a lot later. And your filter says you are moving construction robots. Your filter says you are moving construction robots. You are making construction robots. Your condition is construction robots. And I want to put 500 of them in that box. We'll continue making them until we have 500 of them. And you take from there, and you take from there. I am splitting them evenly between the two. So they both have an even shot at any new ones coming in when we are running out. You are going to be using red chips. What am I doing? You are making logistic bots. There. I want to do something very similar. Okay, now we just need to convert these so that they're doing logistic bots. And total logistic bots is Y. So this becomes Y is less than 100. And the filter becomes logistic bots. This filter becomes logistic bots. And we continue making logistic bots until we're out of stuff. 500 of them. So now we're getting a decent number of robots in our list. I can go up and grab these. I have a whole bunch of yellows now. The red ones are the fun ones. The red ones say anything in here is available for the robots to deliver. The yellow ones say stuff in here is available for the robots to deliver, and robots can put more stuff in them. So we're actually going to use yellow for these. If I find additional logistic bots out there, then they'll be put in here. And see what they did because I didn't have it set up soon enough. We do need a place to put just generic stuff. And here, again, I'm going to put filter logistic bots there. So if I have any logistic bots that need to be placed somewhere by robots, they'll just put it there. And we've got a storage here that the robots can manage. Now remember the benefit of the red one, red are like yellow, except the robots will not put something into them, they'll only take them out. And most of these I'm going to use yellow for, so the robots can put the overstock back. Now, I do need to start putting Roboports in, covering my micro base, because I am about to start doing some ugly things. But I want to gather resources, okay? I am thinking we will put it in a yellow box, like that. And this is going to be waiting for, I'm first of all going to set, when I'm doing a gather to stock, I'm going to make it contingent upon the amount of the thing that I'm stacking is less than some number which I will calculate. And we're going to filter on the thing that I am stacking. Here we're going to do a filter so we only store the thing that I am stacking. Now, stock capture now needs to be this new thing. So that's the item. And stock limit is going to be a parameter. I'm going to use a formula. I'm going to say parameter 0 stack size times, and we're going to go 4 stacks for now. So when we put it in place, it'll take 4 times the number. It'll set it up to capture 4 stacks of it into the logistics network for whatever I put down. The stock capture of far is very similar. Just do that. Same thing, item, and this is going to be stock quantity parameter P0 stack size times 4. And I'm going to put both of these on here because I'm going to be going around doing that. I'm also going to put Roboports on here. Oh, and I don't need those in my logistics network. If I do that, logistics bots will come take stuff from me. They're really slow right now. Now with that done, I can rework this. We're going to capture 4 stacks of construction bots and 4 stacks of logistic bots. And 4 stacks of Roboports. And 4 stacks of yellow chests. And 4 stacks of red chests. And looky there, the robots know how to do the construction already. I am going to let the robots do the construction from here on out. Okay, so we are ready to go. We are now making all of the elements of Skynet, which is what I call my little robot logistics area. We now know how to put things into stock. Our robots are going to keep stock of things. They can build things. So anywhere that's green, they can build things. Anywhere that's orange, they can pick up things and move them around. So they can move things to me on request. And I am going to go around and upgrade my entire base to be pushing stuff into yellow boxes. And we will be coming back in the next episode with a completely set up robot-based setup here. I will see you then.